Hi guys, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine, sir. And you?
Good.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. Yeah, tell me guys, what is section 148? No cheating.
Bailment definition.
Bailment. Okay, 163. Section 163. Okay.
Accretion, sir.
Accretion to the goods. Good. Next one. Section 140, 140. Section 140.
Surety
Subrogation. Subrogation.
Subrogation. Very good, Shahir. Next. 133, 130.
Revocation of continuing guarantee.
Continuing guarantee.
Done. Very good. Next one. 139.
Continuing
continuing
guarantee.
guarantee.
169. 169.
Right
When-
of finder to sell the goods.
Okay. Right of the finder of the goods to sell the goods. Good. How much money can claim?
2/3 of value.
2/3 of the value found. Excellent. Now tell me 168.
Lien,
Right
sir.
of lien.
Right to lien.
Right to lien.
Right of lien. Okay. Section 170.
Bailey particular.
Particular lien.
Particular lien. Okay. 171.
General
lien.
lien.
General lien. 172.
Don't know,
Pledge.
sir.
Pledge.
Contract of pledge. Monica. Contract of pledge. Done. What is the difference between bailment and pledge? Last class we have completed. Lien we have done. And now continuation. We go ahead. Any doubts from you? You can ask me. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Shall I? Any point of clarity? You can ask me. Otherwise, I will move forward. Okay, guys? Now, what is the difference between pledge and hypothecation? When I am explaining, if you feel any point is important, go ahead with the running notes. And agency, last class I started. Before that, I will use this point. Then I continue with the agency topic. Okay, guys. What is the hypothecation? Hypothecation also one type of a pledge. Let me give one example here. In case of a hypothecation, there are two persons, namely debtor and creditor. The goods are with the possession and control of debtor. Document of title on goods with the creditor. See the logic here. Goods are with the possession and control of the debtor. Goods are with him. And document of title on the goods are with the creditor. Goods are with the debtor, but papers are with the creditor. Fine. And debtor can deal with goods. He can deal with goods. Okay. Best example, hypothecation. Best example is hire purchase system. Remember, there are two persons, namely hire purchaser and hire vendor. When I pay the down payment, goods are delivered. Only goods are given, but not ownership. Goods are with hire purchase. Ownership is with buyer. That is hire purchase. Hire purchase is having goods. Ownership papers are with hire vendor. When I pay the last installment, goods are delivered to me. Ownership papers are given to me. For example, cinema theater, cinema projector is there. Cinema theater, when you go, cinema projector, it is fixed there. That cinema theater owner wanted money. He approached the bank, pledged something and take the money. Then he has shown cinema projector as a security, borrowed some loan. That is called hypothecation. The projector with whom? Debtor. But rights are given to creditor, banker. And debtor can deal with goods. Yes, debtor can use the goods. In case the debtor is the defaulter, the creditor can sell the goods. Yes, he can sell the goods. Now, what is the difference between hypothecation and pledge? Pledge and hypothecation. In case of a pledge, goods are delivered or transferred from pledger to pledgee. Physically, we have to transfer. Whereas in hypothecation, goods are not delivered. Goods are with you. Second example, in pledge, pledger cannot use the goods. Once the goods are pledged, you can't use. Pledgee also can't use. What about hypothecation? Goods are with the debtor, debtor can use the goods. So remember, it looks like one and the same, pledge and hypothecation. Whereas in hypothecation, debtor can use the goods. In pledge, pledgee cannot use the goods. That's the only difference. Do remember these words, because in the Sale of Goods Act, you will come across one word, warranty as to encumbrances. In the encumbrance, this is one of the word, hypothecation. One more simplest example. Sometimes we go to the certain shopping malls or godowns and you can see this stock is hypothecated with so-and-so bank. Which means stock showing that the stock as a security, he borrowed some loan. The creditor is having the papers, but the goods are still with the debtor. He can deal with. In case of non-payment, he can file a case. Hypothecation means goods are with the possession and control of the debtor. Only papers are with the creditor, and debtor can deal with the goods. That's all. Okay. I hope you got this point. Now, guys, I am going towards the concept that is contract of agency. Last class, just I gave the introduction. What is the importance of agency? When I am explaining, keep writing some running notes. Section 182 to section 238. First of all, what is importance of this agency? I told you last visit to try to recollect. If a business is confined to local, I alone can do the business. When business is growing from local to regional, regional to national, from national to international or global. When business is local, I alone can do. Best example, Kirana shop. Confined to a limited area of the people deal with, I alone can do. When business is growing from local to regional, regional means entire south, north, or central, like that. Fine. When business is growing from local to regional, regional to national, means entire country I'm selling the goods. Now globally I want to operate my operations. Then in order to reach my customer, I have to dependent on one more person. That person is called agent. So principal, customer. In between, there is a one person called agent. Agent is one who is connecting a link between the principal and customer. He is the one connecting a link between the principal and customer. He is acting like a bridge. You please remember Nokia advertisement, connecting the people. Agent also connecting sorry, principal and agent. Done. Who can be an agent? Who can be an agent? He must be major. He must be sound mind. He must not be disqualified by any other law. He must be major. He must be sound mind. He must not be disqualified by any other law. However, even minor and unsound person, both of them can be appointed as agent. Remember, can be act as agent, but you cannot sue them. This is the key word. That's all. You cannot sue them. That's it. Let me write clearly here. You cannot sue them. Yeah. Now question is, who can be an agent? He must be major. Who is a major? All of us know. Any person has completed the age of 18. He must be sound mind. Who is a sound mind? Any person other than unsound. Sound mind. Who is unsound? Section 12. Hope all of you remember. Already we have done, of course, at foundation level. Again at intermediate level, we take up later. And he is not disqualified by any other law. Who is the disqualified? Who is the disqualified? Remember? Can you? Akshita? Any person who is disqualified, an enemy, insolvent, convicted, company or corporation against memorandum, articles of association, foreign ambassador. These persons were disqualified. So, who can be an agent? Major, sound mind. Sir, can minor be appointed an agent? Straight answer is no. Sir, why no? I have appointed Vinay as an agent. Vinay is a major. I appointed him as an agent. So on my behalf, Mr. Vinay is signing agreements. If any liability arises on account of that agreement, who is liable? Principal is liable. Along with me, agent Vinay also liable, which means the agent is representing the principal. On behalf of the principal, agent has signed. If any liability arises, along with the principal, agent also liable. There is a personal liability of agent. Remember minor chapter? Minor cannot be held personally liable. However, his estate is liable. Yes. But here, agency chapter mentioned, even minor, unsound person can be appointed an agent. Yes. Example. Monica is a minor. Example. I said, Madam, you are my agent for entire GHMC. She said, yes, sir. Now, Monica is signing agreements on my behalf. Myself is the principal. Monica is the agent. But Monica is a minor. Agreement with the minor is void. So she is representing me there. She signed an agreement. If any liability arises, who is liable? Minor is not liable. Minor agent is not liable. Then who is liable? Principal is liable. That's why, friends, remember. Straight question if anyone asks you, can minor be the agent? No. However, can be agent only for the benefits of agency. On account of the minor agency, if any liability arises, principal cannot sue him or sue her. Who is the principal and who is the agent? Agent is one who is acting on behalf of another person. Principal, who is the principal? The person to whom the agent is being active. Now tell me, guys, basic introduction. Are you clear? If you want any clarity, just ask.
Clear.
Yeah.
Clear.
Done. All of you guys, if you want any clarity, please do ask me. Even the minor doubt also, just to try to clarify. You need not compromise. We are at intermediate level. CMA Inter. Each and every sentence, every word is equally important. We should learn the subject more focusedly. Foundation preparations are just to get pass. Now onwards, the serious note. Each and everything we have to try to learn. I am not saying buttify. There is a difference, my dear. Learning and writing some running notes, remembering and writing again in examination. I used to say one word always: reading, retaining, recollecting, reproducing. That job we have to do. Intention is, I want to qualify as a CMA. Beyond that, no, nothing as such. I talk sometimes materialistically. Anyway. Now,
Sir,
guys, tell me.
can you explain it once more? Minor and unsound mind.
Even minor also can be an agent. Even minor also can be an agent. Unsound person also can be an agent. If the agent is a major, entered into contract on behalf of the principal, if any liability arises, along with the principal, agent also liable. There is a personal liability. Whereas, if the principal is an agent, principal is a major, agent is a minor. On behalf of the principal, minor agent signed. If any liability arises, agent is not liable. Only principal is liable. Which means agent is not held personally liable in case minor is a agent. Ask me. Clear?
Clear.
Done. Now see, guys, we go ahead with the next concept, that is how to create one agency. Heading you right, creation of agency, modes of creation of agency, modes of creation of agency. Modes of creation of agency, write one by one. First one, by express agreement, by express agreement. Section 187. Section 187. Second, implied agency by implied agency. Here also same section. Section 187. Subsection subclasses are there. Point A, agency by estoppel. Agency by estoppel. Section 237. Section 237. Point B, agency by holding out. Agency by holding out. Same section will follow. Here there is no specific section. Agency by holding out. Next one. Point C, agency by necessity. Agency by necessity. Agency by necessity. Section 189. Creation of agency, section 185. On the top you write modes of creation of agency, section 185. Here 187, two times will repeat. 187, 237, 189. Done. Next one, creation of, second point completed. Now third one, creation of agency by ratification. Creation of agency by ratification. Section 180, 198 to 200. Section 198 to 200. And last, creation of agency by operation of law. Creation of agency by operation of law. No specific section here. You can leave it. These are the various modes of creation of agency. Now, friends, in our examination, what is important? This is important. And this is important. The remaining all expect the unexpected questions. In any professional examination, as we know, expect the unexpected. Now, what is the heading? Mode of creation of agency. How to create a relationship between the two persons as a principal and agent. How to create the relationship between the two persons. For example, between you and me, we are just friends. How to create relations between you and me as a principal and agent. There are four methods. First one, by express agreement. We know meaning of express. What's the meaning of express? Either in writing or in oral. Orally, verbally, word of a mouth, or in writing. If any relations are created, it is called express agreement. Orally, verbally, word of a mouth, or in writing. X telephone to Y, or X and Y face to face. Hey, you are my agent for Hyderabad district. He said yes. Orally. X telephone to Y. Mr. Y, you are my agent for Bangalore state of Karnataka. He said yes. Orally. X write a letter to Y. You are my agent for Uttaranchal. He replied, yes, I am accepting agency in writing. Here the relations are creating between the two persons, either in writing or in oral. Orally, verbally, word of a mouth, or in writing. This is called creation of agency by express agreement. Now friends, I would like to select one among you as my agent for Hyderabad district. Before I select one among you, what I am going to look at you, your educational qualification, your experience, communication, and perception, attitude. I will see your individual attributable qualities, your family background. I will see your qualities, capabilities. I am fully satisfied. Then I would say, yes, you are my agent. Now relations are created between you and me as a principal and agent. Oral agreement only, na? Nothing in writing. This is called express. I said, Akshita, you are my agent. Monica, you are my agent. Vinay, you are my agent. When I said they are my agent, they said, yes, sir. Are they paying anything to me? No. Am I paying anything to them? No. I pay salary if they work. I give commission if they sell. For a relationship as a principal and agent, am I paying anything to them? Remember, to create a relations between the two persons as a principal and agent, are they paying anything to me? Am I paying anything to them? Answer to me.
No, sir.
No. Just I see your qualities and capabilities. Nothing but individual attributable qualities. Your communication, extraordinary. You got highest qualification. You have a rich experience. You are a down to earth. Though you are a big success is there back of you, you never pose in front of others. You mingle with the people quickly. I love these qualities. I said, go ahead. You are my agent. You are not paying anything to me. I am not paying anything to you. But the relations are created between you and me as a principal and agent. This is called express agreement. Now you please try to remember. No consideration, no contract. Section 25. For creation of agency, no consideration is required. When agreements are made out of natural love and affection, consideration is not required. That time, this is one of the point I told you in the class, if you try to recollect. For creation of agency, the rule of no consideration, no contract is not applicable. Am I making sense? All of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, that's better. Sounds better. Nice. Now, going with the second point. Creation of agency by implied agency. Are implied. What is implied? As we know, neither in writing nor in oral. When agency is created between you and me, neither in writing nor in oral. Your actions, your conduct will say that we are into agency. Sir, how do we understand? See, 3 points are there. Agency by estoppel. Now, all of you please remember what is the meaning of estoppel. Now I try to explain the concept of estoppel first, then we will see this. What is the principle of estoppel? At least some of you try to recollect. We have done this point in the minors chapter. No estoppel against a minor. What's the meaning of estoppel here? Words spoken by one person, conduct of another person, believe third person, believe third person that certain state of affairs are existed. Words spoken by one person, conduct of another person, believe the third person that certain state of affairs are existed. Which means through your words, through your actions, you are creating a relationship between the two persons. In fact, you are no way connected to the person. Through your words, through your actions. Example, sir, X and Y in a restaurant. Before them, one side of the table, X and Y. Other side of the table, Mr. A. X is a noted business personality. A is a noted business personality. X says to Y, I am an agent to A. I am an agent to A. A heard the statement. Nothing was objected. What Y believes? X is a agent to A. A as a principal. Okay. What X said? I am an agent to A. A heard the statement. Remember that word. A heard the statement. Nothing was objected. Then what do I believe? A is a principal and X is an agent. Believing that X is an agent to A, Y supplied some goods to X on credit. While supplying, what was the impression of Y? X is an agent to A. With that impression, he supplied. Later, X failed to pay. Who has to pay? A has to pay. Here X is called estoppel agent. What is implied? Neither in writing nor in oral. What is estoppel? Words spoken by one person, conduct of other person, believe the third person. Some relations are there. Words spoken by one person. What Mr. X said, I am an agent to Y. Sorry, A. Words spoken by one person. Conduct of another person. Mr. A also remained silent. He heard the statement. He should have objected. Hey, who are you, man? You are not my agent. He didn't say anything. Words spoken by one person, conduct of other person, believe the third person that certain state of affairs are existed. Which means some relations are there. Means he is called pretended agent. Remember, pretending means acting like. In fact, he is not an agent, but he is acting like an agent. You are not an agent originally, but you are acting, pretending. Pretending means behaving as if he is an agent. Y supplied some goods. Later, if X failed to pay, A has to pay. Here, X is called estoppel agent. Are you clear, guys? All of you?
Could you repeat again, sir?
Yes, please.
Example.
Yes, please. X, Y, Z. Three are in a restaurant. Okay. I repeat. Check it again. X, Y, A. In a restaurant, one side of the table, X and Y. Other side of the table, opposite to them, Mr. A. A is a noted business personality, businessman. X said with Y, Mr. Y, I am an agent to A. A heard the statement. Nothing was objected. He should have denied originally. Nothing was objected. Then what do I believe? X is a agent to A. Words spoken by one person. I am an agent to A. Conduct of other person. He is remain silent. Believe the third person, that is why. That certain state of affairs are existed as a agent and principal. In fact, they are unrelated. You are behaving as if there is a relationship. In fact, there's nothing as such. X made a statement, I am an agent to Y. I am an agent to A. A heard the statement, nothing was denied. Subsequently, Y supplied some goods to X. While supplying the goods, what was the impression of Mr. Y? X is an agent to A. Goods are supplied. In case X failed to pay, who has to pay? Mr. A has to pay. It's a proving factor, theoretical theory question. This is estoppel. In the society, more of these people you can see in the market. Estoppel people are more. Though they were not working, as if they are working, they pretend. Where are you? Working for Infosys. In fact, he's not working. What is the salary? Original salary 40,000. He will tell 60,000. Pretension. Originally not necessary, but people will pretend many, many times. You can be true to yourself. Okay, anyway, back to point. Are you understanding meaning of estoppel, guy?
Sir,
Yes,
Chappan.
sir.
can later A sue X for the goods paid?
That's between X and Y, X and A.
Okay. There is an option with A?
Yes, every chance. Okay, my point is, are you clear with estoppel?
Clear, sir.
Okay, remember,
Yes, sir, clear.
short
Sir.
answer question, very, very important in this is. Pretended agent, one second. Pretended agent, also similar meaning will get. Okay, yeah, tell me.
If X default to pay, then A is liable to pay to Y.
Fine.
Then Y, then A can claim the damages from
Okay.
X.
Obviously, you can file later. We are not discussing that part. Our part is only, we have stopped this concept at estoppel only.
Okay, sir.
Remaining on second, yes, can he recover it? Yes, section 140 applicable, na?
Okay.
Subrogation, we need not tell repeatedly. We know that principle already. That's why.
Okay, sir.
Chalo, yeah. So, estoppel principle this is. Okay, na? All of you? Voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, clear.
Chalo. Now, guys, next point. Second point to verify, holding out. This is also derived from the same point and definition only. From this definition only, this point also has come. Holding out agent. Agency by holding out. Sir, how do we understand? All of you remember partnership X, Y, Z and company. X, Y, Z are partners. They are doing the partnership business under the name of XYZ company. What is the true test of a partnership? Tell me.
Mutual agency.
Superb. Mutual agency. What is the mutual agency? Each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Mr. X is an active partner. When he is working for partnership, he is signing an agreement, he become agent. Others become principal. When Y signed an agreement, Y will become agent, X and Z become principal. Which means, as long as a partnership is there, each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Okay, this principle, please understand. Then only concept will be more clear to you. Otherwise, no. Okay. In agency chapter, each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Means one is the principal, other one is the agent. Done. X is an active partner for the last 10 years. Today, he retired from partnership. In the event of retirement of a partner, either the retiring partner or the continuing partners required to give public notice under section 72 of the Partnership Act 1932. In the event of retirement of a partner, either the retiring partner or the continuing partners are need to give public notice. If they don't give public notice, that fellow retired, but public notice was not given by neither retiring partner nor continuing partners. After the retirement also, what the society believes? Still, X is a partner. Here X is called holding out. Then you may ask a question. Sir, what is the difference between estoppel and holding out? Holding out, estoppel. Estoppel is not an agent. He is not an agent, but acting like an agent. Whereas a holding out, he was an agent, worked for some time. Later, retired. Public notice was not given. After the retirement also, it is presumed that he is an agent. Holding out. Am I making sense? No. Okay. One more example, guys. Okay, I'll give one more. Cool. Mr. X is working for ICICI Bank, Himayat Nagar. Last 5 years he is working. Bank introduced to all the customers. Hey, Mr. X is a collecting agent. Mr. X is collecting agent. Okay. ICICI Bank and X. Mr. X is a collecting agent. Okay, na? Now listen. Last 5 years he is working. Bank informed to all the customers. If you want to deposit money, if you want to withdraw the money, just to talk to him, we will help you out. Out of his commitment and sincere at work, he got a name and fame among all the customers. And yesterday or today, because yesterday is Sunday, today he was removed from office by the bank. Reasons are personal. Okay, he was removed from office. Immediately, what the bank should have done? Take the print media support or electronic media support. Send a message to all the customers. He was removed from office. Don't deal with him. But the bank failed to communicate to the customers. But he removed from office. Nothing was communicated to customers. Tomorrow also, Mr. X contacted the customers, collected the money, disappeared from Hyderabad. Who should pay to customers? Bank. He is called holding out. He worked for some time. He was removed from office. Nothing was communicated, so that he is able to exploit. If they give a message, hey, he was removed from office, don't deal. Bank is not responsible if you dealt. No responsibility. Now see the difference. Estoppel, he is not an agent, but behaving like, acting like, pretending like I'm an agent. Holding out, he was an agent. Are you clear with both the lines, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Done. Now see the third one. Agency in case of necessity. For example, X is the principal, Y is the agent. He is the principal, this fellow is the agent. Today, Y met an accident, hospitalized. Doctor said 1 month bed rest. For the sake of 1 month, can you terminate agency and appoint another person? No. Necessity. On behalf of Y, his wife, son, daughter can sign, isn't it? In case of necessity, not permanently, no? Valid and valid. They just inform to the principal, sir, he met an accident. Matter of 1 month time, sir, we will take care. Agreements are on his name only, but signed by his wife or son or daughter. Valid and valid. Temporary finanima, stopgap arrangement. Necessity. Clear? 3 points verify. Express,
Yes, sir.
implied. Continue. Now, guys,
Sir.
yeah, please ask me. Any doubt? Priya?
No, sir.
Okay, done. Continue. Please write heading now first. Requisites of valid ratification. Requisites of valid ratification. What are the requisites? Requisites of valid ratification. Write one by one. Then I will elaborate with the help of the relevant example. Okay. First one. There must be principal and agent relationship. There must be principal and agent relationship. Second, agent must act an agent. Agent must act an agent. Next, agent must act beyond his authority. Agent must act beyond his authority. Next, act to be ratified must be lawful. Act to be ratified must be lawful. Next, the whole transaction is to be ratified. The whole transaction is to be ratified. The whole transaction is to be ratified. Next, principal must be competent. Principal must be competent at the time of contracting. at the time of contracting as well as at the time of ratification as well as at the time of ratification.
Sir, please once again repeat, sir, this point.
Yeah. Principal must be a competent person at the time of contracting as well as at the time of ratification. At the time of ratification. Done? Okay, next one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one. Agent must act on behalf of. Agent must act on behalf of disclosed principal. Agent must act on behalf of disclosed principal. Okay. Last one. It must be communicated. Last. It must be communicated. That's all. Friends, remember what is I ratify? I ratify means I confirm. This will meaning. Ratification means confirmation. I will take one example. With the help of one example, we try to understand this point. Okay. Principal, storekeeper, created example. What is the duty of a storekeeper? Usually, receive the material, make an entry in the store's ledger. Whenever the principal needs information, storekeeper has to furnish the data. That's all. Receive the material, make an entry, give intimation to principal whenever the need. That's the job. As a storekeeper, without authority, beyond our authority, without permission from the principal, storekeeper obtained one insurance policy for the stock at Godam. He paid a premium of rupees 1 lakh. Later, he informed to principal. So, I have paid the premium. I took the insurance. Principal said, how much you paid? Sir, 1 lakh. Take it. Your act, your work is ratified. It is confirmed. Now you try to recollect. Intra-virus and ultra-virus, two concepts are there. Intra-virus, ultra-virus. What is intra-virus? Within.
In the company.
Virus
Within
means
the company.
power. Within the power, you did. That is valid or invalid? Valid.
Valid.
Ultra means?
Beyond the limits or power.
Beyond. Beyond. Virus means power. Beyond our power is valid or void?
Void.
Void. Now analyze this example. Storekeeper, what is the duty? Receive the material, issue the material. If he did that work, should have been valid. But what he did without permission, without intimation, without prior authority, he took one insurance policy for the stock at Godam. He took his own decision. He paid a premium of 1 lakh. Taking of insurance for the stock at Godam is intra-virus or ultra-virus?
Intravirus. Virus.
Intravirus or ultravirus?
Ultravirus.
One person said intravirus. For them, I want to give a clarity. That's why. Storekeeper duty क्या है? Receive the material, issue the material. Do you have authority to take insurance? No.
No.
Beyond your authority, exceeding your authority, you took insurance. Now tell me, madam, is this intravirus or ultravirus?
Ultravirus.
Ultravirus. Means this insurance itself is invalid originally, beyond your power. But later, storekeeper informed to principal, sir, I took insurance for our stock at Godam. Principal said, come here, can I see the policy? Sir, this is the policy. Which type of policy? Sir, cumulative insurance policy. Very good. How much premium paid? 1 lakh, sir. Do one thing. You had done a wonderful job. You took initiative. Superb. Take this money. Now this insurance, whatever may be the insurance taken by storekeeper, is ratified or not ratified? Ratified. Ratified means confirmed. Which means, first of all, an agent is doing something beyond his authority. Later he is communicating to principal. Principal is ratified. Means the agency created between them regarding insurance. Now back to points. There must be principal and agent relationship. This fellow is the principal, this fellow is the agent. There must be principal and agent relationship. Yes. Agent must act an agent. What does that mean? While taking the insurance, this storekeeper should inform. The storekeeper should inform to insurance company that, sir, I am storekeeper. Agent must act as agent. No misrepresentation. No concealment. He should not say, I am the CEO, I am the CFO, I am the COO. He should not. No misrepresentation there. Agent must act an agent. I am a storekeeper. I am taking insurance policy. That is acting as an agent. No pretension there. Okay. Agent must act as agent. Hey, who are you, man? I am the storekeeper, sir. I am taking insurance policy for our stock at Godam. Done. Third, agent must act beyond his authority. Yes. Taking of insurance policy is beyond his authority, isn't it? Originally, what is our duty ending? Receive the material, issue the material. What did you do? You took insurance beyond your authority. The act to be ratified must be lawful. Insurance is lawful only. The whole transaction need to be ratified. What does it mean? Storekeeper paid 1 lakh premium. Principal said, I will give you 99,999. 1 rupee less. Is this ratification? Last said, no. If you want to ratify, ratify as a whole, but not in part. Sir, 1 rupee only, no, doesn't matter. Entire transaction to be ratified, but not in part. The agent must act on behalf of the principal must be competent person at the time of contracting as well as at the time of ratification. What does it mean? See the line carefully. The principal must be competent person at the time of contracting as well as at the time of ratification. Means when this storekeeper taking insurance policy as well at the time of ratification, principal must be competent person. He must be major, he must be sound mind, he must not be disqualified by any other law. Why, sir? If the principal is the minor, no ratification. Remember minor chapter? Minor cannot ratify his agreement on attaining the age of majority. That's why principal should be competent person at the time of contracting as well as at the time of ratification. And agent must act on behalf of disclosed principal. What's the meaning of disclosed. Please remember, disclosed means named. Undisclosed means unnamed. Disclosed, undisclosed. Disclosed principal, down to 3 years. All of you qualified CMA. We met. I asked Varun, where are you, man? Sir, I'm working for ICICI. Congrats. Monica, where are you? Sir, I'm working for Wipro. Super. Akshita, where are you? Sir, I'm for the TCS. Nice. They're telling, hey, where are you working? One said ICICI, one said Wipro, one said TCS, one said Infosys. Means they named where they're working. Down to 4 years, two friends met. X said, hey, where are you, man? I am working for one of MNC, you know. Oh, multinational company. Yeah. Oh, great. Congratulations. Which company, Ray? I am the whole and sole in charge for entire country, you know. Okay, which company, Ray? Our paid up capital is 1 lakh crores, you know. Which company, Ray? My salary per month 20 lakhs, you know. He's telling everything, but he's not revealing the company's name. Means he's acting on behalf of disclosed principal, undisclosed principal.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed means unnamed. He's not telling. It may be right, it may be wrong also. We don't know. That's why if you want to ratify, there should be principle. That's why agent must act always on behalf of disclosed principle. All essentials are clear. Check once. I repeat. Here, agent is acting beyond his authority. Later communicated to principal. Principal is ratified. Ratified means confirmed. You do something beyond your authority. Later informed to principal. Principal ratified. There must be principal and agent relationship. Agent must act an agent. Agent must act beyond his authority. Act to be ratified must be lawful. Entire transaction need to be ratified. Principal must be competent person and it must be communicated. He must act on behalf of disclosed principal. Let me give one simple example to understand. Assume we are in a physical classes, not online, physical classes. After the classes are got over, at say 6 o'clock your class got over that day, there is no second session. You go to nearby Himayatnagar Lakshmi Hyundai showroom. Who is our close family friend, uncle? Tell him, Dad will pay money. I will take the delivery of this Varna vehicle. He said, Beta, all the best. Uncle, he gave the vehicle, take the vehicle, go for a drive, have a fun with the friends. Evening around 11 o'clock, go home. Dad is waiting. One day you will get an opportunity. In a day, you will get an opportunity to share the dining table with tomorrow's professional. He's waiting. Go and tell him, Dad, I bought this vehicle from uncle's shop. 27 lakhs, pay. Dad said, I will pay. Your act of buying the car is ratified. Originally, what is our duty as a student? Go to class, attend the class, not a physical presence, mental presence, learn something and come back. There was no permission to you to buy 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, 14-wheeler. No permission. You have acted beyond your authority, which is invalid originally. Communicated to Dad. Dad said, I will pay. Ratified. Comply here also. Storekeeper, what is the duty? Receive the material, issue the material. What did you do? Took insurance. Beyond your authority, originally invalid. Later communicated to principal. Principal said, I will pay. Your act is ratified. Sir, what if? Evening around 11 p.m. inform to dad, your example. Dad, I bought this vehicle from uncle's shop. Pay money. He said, beta, before you buy this vehicle, by mistake, did you inform to me? No. Okay. Mama knows? No. Brother? No. Sister? No. Servant? No. At least our Tommy knows? No. Dad was upset. Before you buy, at least a word here, not correct. You have neglected me. I'm sorry. I won't pay. He refused. You said, Dad, please, Dad. I won't repeat again. First and last. Please, tomorrow onwards, how to face the students, my friends. Sorry, beta. Bye. What to do? No ratification. Next day, go to bank. Money is there. Withdraw and pay. Money is not there. Go to uncle. Tell him, uncle, I'm sorry. My dad, I don't know what happened to him. As if I purchased the aircraft, this man refused to pay money. Will you please take back? He said, okay, beta. Compare here. Storekeeper took insurance beyond his authority. He said, sir, I took insurance. You took insurance, come here. Sir, did I ever told you? No, sir. Why did you do others' job? There is a separate department. Sorry, sir. Sir, 1 lakh I paid. Get out. Sir, I paid money. Get out. When you are acting beyond your authority, be prepared for risk. If the principal agree, you will be reimbursed. Principal won't agree, ask for you. This is called creation of agency by ratification. One more simple example. In a lighter sense, you take. Someone knocked at the door. Dad opened the door. In front, son with a girl, garland and all. Dad said, beta, kya hai? Married to dad, Arya Samaj. According to our custom. Mangal Sutra also there. Dad said, beta, before you married, did you inform to me by mistake? No, dad. Mama? No. Brother? No. Sister? No. Servant? No. Tommy? No. No. Dad closed the door. Which means, your marriage I am not accepting. He is like a wounded tiger, shouting, because unexpected thing. Entire episode, mother was observing from backside of the door. Said, what happened? So look at your son. What did he do? She listened for 2 minutes and said, Abba, what happened? Don't know, my dear husband. Unbearable pain. Recently, Ganguly got like that. Some pain. I don't know. I want to see my son. No, my dear husband. Last 27 years, I did not ask anything. Emotional blackmailing. Then he will go, open the door and say, my dear daughter-in-law, you come. Yes, son. Get out, man. Will you say that? If you want to ratify as a whole, but not in part. This is example here. Never do such a blunder in your life. If you want to marry, take permission, blessings from parents. And don't do such a blunder. Example say, in the cinemas it will happen always. Somebody will come and knock the door. No, no, no. My personal opinion. Never do such a mistakes in your life. In this world, only one well-wisher for you, your parent only. They take some time to accept your proposals. You them. Wait until the last minute. Never be in a hurry. Life, it will come. Everything come in your life. Once you become the CMA, ACA, you get a golden wings. Don't fly. By the time you become the professional, maybe 23 or 24 years. 22, 23. By the time parent, maybe 55, 58 years old man. Don't forget, when you are becoming elder, parents are becoming older. That's the right time originally. You should be there with your parent. Not a financial purpose, only, moral support. My mother, my father, if I am there for them, that support is something different, my dear. Personal perception I'm telling. Since you pass exam, don't fly. Hang on. I hope you are understanding meaning of ratification. Clear,
Yes, sir.
guys? Any confusion is there? Raise your hand. Creation of agency by ratification. All the points are clear? Important question for short answer. Direct question, please.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Chalo. Next point, creation of agency by operation of law. Originally, how to create a relations between the two persons? One should make a proposal, other one should accept. I said, Monica, you are my agent at Hyderabad. Yes, sir. There is in writing or orally some relations are created. In case of operation of law, nothing in writing. According to law, they are called agents. The law only declared they are an agent. Best example already I told you. According to Indian Partnership Act 1932, each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. I told example also, X, Y, Z are partners. As long as the partnership is there, each partner is an agent to rest of the partners. Though you are taking me as a partner, according to law, they are called agents. Sir, one more example. According to Companies Act 2013, I am appointing you as a director. Monica, you are the director of this company, executive director, per month salary 7 lakhs. Yes, sir. I appointed her as a director. But she is signing on behalf of whom? Company. A company is an artificial person. On behalf of company, she is signed. Which means she is acting as a agent to company. Whatever agreements she signed, at the end, who is liable? Company. Here, according to Companies Act, each director is called agent to company. As per law. In fact, I am not appointing them as an agent. According to law, they have identified as an agent. Clear? Any confusion? Can we continue, guys? Okay. So creation of agency we have done. Now tell me, what is the difference between sub-agent and substitute agent? First I will explain, then give the points. First to listen carefully. Very, very important topic. Sub-agent, substitute agent. From agency chapter, question means this is the first priority. And then ratification, then remaining points. Okay, sub-agent and substitute. Listen carefully. X, with the help of example, we try to understand. Principal agent. X called up Y. Hey, you are my agent at Hyderabad. So I said yes. X is the principal, Y is the agent. Y called up Z. You are my agent at Himayatnagar area. He said yes. Here, Mr. Z is called sub-agent. This fellow is agent. And other party is called sub-agent. Now please understand the concept. X called up Y. You are my agent for Hyderabad district. X is the principal, Y is the agent. Later, Y called up Z. You are my agent at Himayatnagar area. He said yes. Sub-agent, sub-agent. Now, what are the essentials? Sub-agent is an agent to original agent. Sub-agent is an agent to original agent. There is a privity. Could you remember meaning of a privity? Anyone?
Contract, sir.
Contract, admitted, still you can add something. Okay, still you can add something. Subhamitra?
Obligation.
Obligation, okay. Privity. Privity means contractual obligations are satisfying between the persons. Contractual obligations are there. Okay, here. Contractual obligations are between whom? Original agent and sub-agent. Fine. Agent can sue the sub-agent. Agent can sue, means file a case. And vice versa. Sub-agent can sue the original agent. Principal cannot sue the sub-agent. Yes, because they were no way connected. They were no way connected, no? Sub-agent. I don't know who is he as a principal. Agent to agent, sub-agent. Now remember partnership act. Partner to partner, sub-partner. Could you remember? Partner to partner is a sub-partner. Here also, agent to agent is a sub-agent. Sub-agent is connected to original agent. There is a privity between the original agent and sub-agent. Principal cannot sue sub-agent and vice versa. Sub-agent. Concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Second, substitute agent. Listen carefully. A, B, C. A is a noted business personality. He is having the 49 businesses. For all businesses, Mr. B is the sole selling, whole and sole distributor entire India. Mr. A is starting the 50th company. He called up B. Hey, you are my agent for 50th company also. Act as the distributor. B politely refused the offer. Sorry, sir. Already 49 companies. I don't have a breathing time. My wife said, if you take any more company agents, I'll give a divorce for you. I'm really sorry, sir. I can't take up. But my friend C, willing to act as an agent, equally capable, sir. Just interview him. If you satisfy, take him as an agent. Then A called up C. Needful interview conducted. Satisfied. Then A said, you are my agent for 50th company, the whole and sole distributor. C said, yes. Here Mr. B is called agent and C is called substitute agent. Sir, what is the meaning? Substitute agent is one who is named by original agent. Originally, offer was given to whom? B. He politely refused and suggested you can take Mr. C as an agent. Substitute agent is one who is named by original agent. There is a privity between whom? Principal and substitute agent, because they are into agreement. Principal can sue him, yes, and vice versa. He can sue him. Are you understanding this?
Yes, sir.
All of you guys? Any confusion? If I
Sir,
say,
if both are non-accepted,
come again.
sir, if both Both D and C not accepted then.
He suggested here, he can take C. Without C's permission, how could B refer the C's name? Isn't it? He requested, help me out. He gave the reference. Of course, appointment will be based on your C's qualifications or experience only, na? Since you recommended, nobody will take. Recommendation is useful only to get entry, exit entry level only, to retain your capabilities. It matters.
And C will not have any liability on B.
No liability, please. No, B is no way connected. Just I gave the reference of C. If you satisfy, then only take him. I will not take any responsibility as a B. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now write under sub-agent first point. Sub-agent is an agent to original agent. Sub-agent is an agent to original agent. Sub-agent is an agent to original agent. Under substitute. Substitute agent is one. Substitute agent is one. Who is named by original? Who is named by original agent? Who is named by original agent? Next, second, under sub-agent, there is a privity between original agent and sub-agent. There is a privity between original agent and sub-agent. Next, under substitute, there is a privity between principal and substitute agent. Principal and substitute agent. Next, under sub-agent, he cannot sue the principal. He cannot sue the principal, and vice versa. And vice versa. Under substitute, he can sue the principal and vice versa. He can sue the principal and vice versa. That's all. Okay, na? Now, friends, tell me, what is the difference between agent and servant? Is there any difference? Agent and servant. Is there any difference?
For servant, consideration will be there, but for an agent, there need not be a consideration.
How? Without a salary, will agent work? That's the question. Yeah. Keep telling, right or wrong, never mind. Can discuss.
Because on his sales, he can earn the money.
Okay. Done. Any more, please? Keep telling. I'm listening. The difference between agent and servant. Yeah. Come on here. Mere silence is not acceptance. Already we know this rule. Say something, right or wrong, never mind. Participation matters. You have to.
Agent has authority to create a relationship between his principal and third party. Whereas servant
Right.
doesn't have that.
Super. Agent got authority, servant got no authority. Admitted. Done. Second point. Any more? Okay, guys, listen like this. What is the difference between agent and servant? Agent must be a competent person. Servant need not be a competent person, because any person can be appointed as a servant. In your house, you see your maid servant maybe sometime minor working. Second, there is a privity between the principal and agent. In case of agent, there is a privity agreement in writing. Terms and conditions are clear. Whereas servant, no terms and conditions. Tomorrow onwards you can come and work. That's all. Nothing as such. Next, agent. Once the agent signed, who is liable? Principal is liable. On behalf of the principal, agent signed a promissory note, bill of exchange, check. If it is the dishonored, who is liable? Along with the agent, principal also liable. If a servant did something wrong, who is liable? Servant only liable. The master is not liable. Agent can act on behalf of several principals. I have money. I can take up any number of companies' agency. Deposit money, pay, take the goods. Servant. You can be servant for only one master. Don't compare with our day-to-day servants. They want to confine to your house. They will come for half an hour, 1 hour, second work and move to next house. No. Servant means, remember old movies. Or Balaji telefilms to remember. Ramu Kaka, confined to family 24/7, at your service. That's the meaning of servant. Agent deals with the commercial transactions. Servant won't deal the commercial deals. This is the usual difference between agent and servant. What about wife and husband? Can we call husband and wife or principal and agent?
Yes, sir.
Come on, yeah. Who is the principal? Who is the agent?
No, sir.
Your answer. Who is the principal? Who is the agent?
It depends.
Depends, sir. Tell me. Vinay? Cool, yeah. Just outer cell, take in a lighter way. Just I'm kidding. Tell me, guys. Is wife and husband principal and agent?
No, sir.
Kritika said no. Okay. Reason. Go with the argument.
Partnership, sir.
Partnership. Hello. Is there any dhanda hai kya? What is
Life
the
partner,
base?
sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think wife and husband is having an undue influence.
Okay. Undue influence is there, Kritika. Okay. Any more? Okay, guys. Listen. Is wife and husband principal and agent? Straight answer, Andy? No. Straight answer, no. But remember, it is the first and foremost duty of the husband to provide adequate funds for maintenance of the family. In case husband is not providing the funds, wife can borrow some loan. Remember, maintenance of the family was the contract section 68. Here also apply. She can borrow some loan. In case she borrowed the loan for maintenance of the family, who is liable? Husband is liable. He has to repay. From that point of view, wife and husband is a principal and agent. Otherwise, in between wife and husband, there is no principal and agent relationship. It is the first and foremost duty of the husband to provide adequate funds for maintenance of the family. In case not provided, she can borrow some loan. But remember, maintenance of the family, not for luxury. Then husband is the liable. Then wife is the agent, husband become principal. Husband is unsound. For his medical treatment, she can borrow some loan from a money lender. Now she is acting like an agent on behalf of the husband. Yes, valid. Okay, na? Guys, this is for today. Your sessions up to 8 only, na?
Yes, sir.
And yeah. One more
Yes,
thing.
sir.
One second. All of you stay back for 1 second. Is this possible? Shall we have sessions from 6 o'clock onwards? Will it okay? If all agree, then only, otherwise no.
Yes,
6
sir.
to
Okay.
8.
Okay, sir. It's okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Okay.
6 to
Okay,
8. 2 hours.
Okay,
I
sir.
want.
Okay, sir.
That's good. No, I will
Okay,
talk
sir.
to Prasad sir. I will talk to Prasad sir. If he agree, then I will inform you. Otherwise, you will send a link accordingly you follow. It's only formal understanding between you and me. Once you say yes, then I will talk to him. Let you know. Okay?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I prefer 6 to 8, maybe 2 hour session constructively you can have some, because our syllabus is like a ocean. Very large syllabus and it will take more time, that's why. Physical classes are different and online sessions are different. That's why. Okay, thank you guys. I will talk to sir, let you know.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.